there are several traffic diversions across Haryana. The police have installed concrete blocks, barbed wires, and metal barricades at several points. Vehicles, even personal cars, are being checked at various checkpoints. Internet connectivity is sporadic. It is a bumpy drive through villages that takes us to Khanori on Punjab-Haryana border. About 200 kilometers from Delhi, this is where protesting farmers have been stopped by the government. It is like a mini village with makeshift tents and tractor trolleys doubling up as their temporary homes on the side and central median of the four-lane highway. In this episode of the Morning Brief, we speak to the farmers to understand why they have given a Delhi Chalo call, how the protest is different from the 2020 sit-in at Singhu border on the outskirts of Delhi, and what is the formula that the union government proposed to break the impasse. It's Friday, 23rd of February. I'm Nidhi Sharma from The Economic Times, and you are listening to The Morning Brief. We are here at Khanori, and the farmers are just settling to their morning breakfast. Villagers have travelled from nearby Punjab villages and cooked langar, a simple meal of roti and sabzi and a little bit of achar. These meals, the farmers say, continue till 12 midnight. How many are fed daily? Countless, they say. It is evident that the farmers are here for a long haul. But they did not expect to camp here. On February 13th, the Kisan Mazdoor Morcha, or KMM, had given a Delhi Chalo call. The unions had mobilized farmers in Punjab and Haryana and had expected to march till Delhi. But the farmers were stopped at Punjab-Haryana border and could not cross into Haryana. They are now forced to camp at two places, Shambhu on Patiala-Ambala highway and Khanori in Haryana's Jeend district. The farmers are restless and question the government's decision to stop them at the border. The use of tear gas shells at the borders have further hurt sentiments. Farmers compare the fortification by police and the paramilitary forces with India-Pakistan border. We speak to Inderjeet Singh of Kisan Mazdoor Sangharsh Committee.
यहाँ 12 तारीख से सभी काफिले चले हुए थे और 13 तारीख को जहाँ पर एंटर हुए और हमारा जो ऐलान था दिल्ली जाने के लिए, और दिल्ली जाने के लिए जो सरकार ने ज़बरदस्त एक रास्ते एक हदें बना दी जैसे पाकिस्तान जहाँ हिंदुस्तान की होती है, और हमारी बहुत नाराज़गी है सरकार से, खट्टर सरकार से, मोदी सरकार से कि कोई भी किसान अपने हकों के लिए आंदोलन कर सकता है। ये देश का एक संविधान है, अगर उसकी आवाज़ रोकी जाए तो बात ठीक नहीं। ये हम बोल कर आए थे मोर्चा को सस्पेंड करके कि अगर ये हमारी मांगें ना मानी तो फिर दिल्ली फिर आएंगे। काफ़ी 35-36 महीना बीत गए और नई सरकार ने कोई अमल नहीं किया, और वो मानी हुई मांगें पर हम कोई अपनी तरफ से कोई मांग नहीं और रखी हुई कि मानी हुई मांगें पर हम दिल्ली को कूच करेंगे। सरकार से हमें जगह जहाँ मर्जी दे दे, जंतर मंतर में दे दे, रामलीला में दे दे, जहाँ हमें बैठाएंगे हम वहाँ जाएंगे। और इसने हमारी बात सुनने के बजाय और बड़े एक मैं कहूँगा बहुत सरकार ने ऐसे कोई घटिया नीति से शंभू बॉर्डर पर और जहाँ खनौरी बॉर्डर पर बड़े बड़े अथरू गैस और वो गोले दागे जो किसी का घर तोड़ना हो, जहाँ को गेट तोड़ना हो, और ना साथ की साथ 12 बोर के जो कारतूस दागे कि अगर जिसको कारतूस का कोई आदमी फ्रैक्चर हो जाए, नुकसान हो जाए, उसके बाद 307 का केस लगता है। अगर किसान का नुकसान हो जाता 302 का केस लगता है। ऐसा सरकार ने रवैया बनाया। उसके साथ साथ ऐसी गन्ने फिट कर करके रखी है कि अगर किसान आगे बढ़ते हैं तो देखो वो एक स्विच दबाया हज़ारों गोलियां निकले और किसानों की मुंह की आवाज़ चले जाए, कानों की आवाज़ चले जाए। ऐसे जो मटेरियल जगह जगह पर फिट करके रखा, जैसे कोई रूस या यूक्रेन का जंग होना हो। और 2 दिन किसानों पर बड़ा अत्याचार हुआ। करीब यहाँ से 80 से 85 किसान बुरी तरह फट रहे। एक शंभू बॉर्डर पर आदमी शहीद हो गया, वहाँ पर बहुत ज़्यादा नुकसान हुआ। अगर कोई घर का मुखी अपने परिवार पर ऐसी अत्याचार करने लग पड़े तो घर नहीं चलता। और इन लोगों ने अपने परिवार पर बहुत ज़्यादा तशद्दुद किया है, जिसकी हम घनी निंदा करते हैं। उल्टा हमारे इधर हरियाणा में अब मन्नू कुहाड़ और साथियों पर नाजायज़ पर्चे दर्ज कर दिए। वहाँ के किसान काफ़ी बहू बेटियां बच्चे घरों में जाकर भी दहशत फैला रखी। उन लोगों को पर्चे दर्ज किए, जेल में दे दिए। एक हमारा यहाँ एक लड़का रवि अमृतसर का रहने वाला था और उसके पहले टांगे तूंगे तोड़ी, फिर उसको अस्पताल में ले गए। बाकी 1-2 साथी उसको भी जेल में दे दिया। और ये कोई अच्छी बात नहीं सरकार ने निकाली, बहुत घटिया है सरकार। और हमारा जो फैसला है कि हम यहाँ से पीछे नहीं हटेंगे।
यहाँ पे कितने लोग बैठे हुए हैं लगभग, और कितना लंबा ये अभी देख रहे हैं कि बॉर्डर पे पूरा लंबा ट्रैक्टर लेके लोग बैठे हुए हैं।
कि यहाँ तो 1 लाख के 10-15 हज़ार के करीब गिनती होती है जब 12 से 1 बजता है। और जो बाकी राज्यों वाले नज़दीक हरियाणा पड़ता है, लोग चाहे दुखी हों परेशान हो अपनी अपनी फसलों में, फिर भी दिन को यहाँ 2-2.5 लाख की गिनती हो जाती है।
और यहाँ पे खाना वगैरह आप लोग यहीं बनाते हैं?
खाना वगैरह सब अपने अपने ट्रालियों पे राशन लेके आए हैं। जो हमारे दर्दी लोग हैं वो भी यहाँ को चावल वगैरह जहाँ और रोटी दूध सब कुछ हमारी नीचे से मदद कर रहे हैं।
और कितने टाइम का राशन आप लोग साथ लेके आए हैं?
हमारा राशन जो बाबा नानक जी ने 20 रुपए का लंगर चलाया था ना, ये तो मुद्दों तक नहीं खत्म होगा। ये तो कोई 10-20 दिन का आंकड़ा नहीं, कोई 6 महीने का नहीं, कोई साल का नहीं। जब तक भी पंजाब के पंजाबी बाबा नानक के लोग जो है ना वो चलते रहेंगे, मुद्दों तक चलता रहेगा, ये नहीं खत्म होगा।
तो अभी आप लोग पीछे हटने के कोई मूड में नहीं?
देखो पीछे कैसे, हम जूते खाएंगे जाकर लोगों से? जो लोग जहाँ बैठे हैं उसको छोड़कर कैसे पीछे हट जाएंगे? ये तो अब आए हैं। अगर कोई 10-20 दिन को कोई चोन जाब्ता लग जाता है, क्या मुंह दिखा कर जाएंगे? हम तो हो सकता चोन जाब्ता लग भी जाए तो भी बैठने की तैयारी करेंगे। दूसरी सरकार आएगी, दे दो भाई, तुम दे दो, हम कहाँ जाना है।
टाइमिंग के बारे में सरकार बहुत ज़्यादा प्रश्न उठा रही है कि आप लोग ने बिल्कुल इलेक्शन से पहले ये किया है।
देखिए ये सरकार ने लिखती हमें पत्र दिया है, जे ले जाना तो मुझसे ले जाना, ठीक है। और सरकार ने मानी हुई मांगे पर चर्चा करने के लिए, इसको समाधान निकालने के लिए पूरे 3 साल लगा दे। कहाँ सरकार थी? तहसीलदारों ने जो हामी SDM दफ्तर है, DC दफ्तर है, और जहाँ तक भी घूम कर देख लिया, सरकार अपने आप बुलाती। अब पहली बात तो किसानों को बुलाने की ज़रूरत नहीं, जो मांगे मानी उस पर चर्चा करके अपना फैसला दे दें। हमें क्या बचा रहे, मीटिंग रखने की ज़रूरत ही कोई नहीं।
हर बार जब भी किसान बैठते हैं एक सवाल आता है जो सबको बुरा लगता है, किसान भाइयों को बहुत ज़्यादा बुरा लगता है कि कौन पैसा दे रहा है कि किसान यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं। और काफ़ी बार एक शब्द यूज़ होता है जो मैं आपको बोलूँगी, आप नाराज़ मत हो जाइए, सब बोलते हैं खालिस्तानी है, खालिस्तानी पैसा है। आपको इसके बारे में क्या कहना है?
देखिए मैं खुले मन से ये बात कहता हूँ, किसानों के अकाउंट देख लें, वहाँ कर्जा तो निकलेगा 30-30, 40-40 लाख एक किसान पर, ठीक है। और किसान ये भी चेक कर ले, हमारे घर में जो खाने के लिए दाना पानी रखा है वो खालिस्तानी का थोड़ी है, जहाँ के और लोग थोड़ी दे रहे हैं एजेंसियाँ में। वो तो अपने घर में थे, जो किसी पास दाल है वो अपनी दाल लेकर आता है, किसी पास दूध है वो दूध लेकर आता है, जो घर ने जो भगवान ने दिया है। ये हमारे पास गेहूँ है, वहाँ आटा 2-4 गट्टे अपने आप पीस करके यहाँ लेके आ रहे हैं। कौन सी ये कोई है सरकार पर बहुत बड़ी एजेंसियों जहाँ चेक करना कर सकते हैं, खुले मन से हम कहते हैं।
In 2020, Samyukt Kisan Morcha or SKM, an umbrella organization of farmers' union, had spearheaded the protest against the 3 farm legislations. After a year-long siege at Singhu border, the Modi government was forced to repeal the 3 legislations. When the farmer agitation ended in December 2021, differences emerged within SKM, leading to the formation of SKM Non-Political, which has transformed now into Kisan Mazdoor Morcha or KMM. It is this organization which is once again reminding the Modi government about the promises made in 2021 and not fulfilled till date. The farmers are insisting that the government bring a law guaranteeing minimum support price or MSP for 23 crops. The government says this would mean a financial burden of 10 lakh crore rupees. Instead, it is offered to buy maize, pulses and cotton for 5 years, saying this would lead to crop diversification as well. The offer has been rejected and the farmers are insisting on marching into Delhi. Manoj Jaglan, spokesman of Bharatiya Naujawan Kisan Sangathan, speaks about what it will take for farmers to turn back.
देखिए, हम यहाँ 13 फरवरी को पहुँच चुके थे। मांगे तो हमारी वही है कि सबसे पहली तो हमारी मांग है एमएसपी के गारंटी कानून की, दूसरी हमारी बड़ी मांग पूर्ण कर्जा मुक्ति की, तीसरी हमारी मांग जो भूमि अधिग्रहण कानून 2013 में सरकार ने बदला था, तो उसको अलग अलग राज्यों के हिसाब से सरकार ने भूमि अधिग्रहण कानून जैसे 24 अगस्त 2021 को हरियाणा विधानसभा में अलग से पारित कर दिया। तो उस जो कानून को बदला गया था, हम चाहते हैं कि हमें 2013 का ही भूमि अधिग्रहण कानून मिले। जो मसाले हैं उन पर राष्ट्रीय आयोग बने। लखीमपुर खीरी के जो हमारे किसान साथी हैं उनके साथ जो नरसंहार हुआ, हम चाहते हैं कि उनको न्याय मिले। तो हमारी इन्हीं मांगों को लेके हम 13 फरवरी से दिल्ली की कूच की हमारी कॉल थी, लेकिन सरकार ने रास्ते रोक दिए हैं। इसलिए हम आज हरियाणा और पंजाब के बॉर्डर पर 13 तारीख से यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, डटे हुए हैं।
It is obvious that the farmers have dug in their heels. They want an MSP guarantee legislation and the right to take their voice to the heart of Delhi. Farmer leader Sarwan Singh Pandher made the intentions known.
1.5-2 लाख करोड़ रुपया ज्यादा बड़ी रकम नहीं है। इसके ऊपर 60% किसान निर्भर कर रहे हैं। खेत मजदूर जोड़ लें तो देश की 80% आबादी बनती है। तो हमारी पूरा प्रयास है कि पीसफुली रहेंगे, अथवा अगर केंद्र को ऐसा लगता है अभी मांग मानने में कोई उसे दुचित्ती आ रही है, तो हम कहते हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी, संविधान की रक्षा करना आपका दायित्व है। आप संविधान की रक्षा कीजिए, हमें पीसफुली प्रोटेस्ट करने के लिए ये नाका खोल के दिल्ली जाने का इजाजत दे दीजिए।
There is now a massive build-up of paramilitary forces on Punjab-Haryana borders. Agriculture Minister Arjun Munda has once again appealed to the farmers to come forward for talks.
सरकार के माध्यम से हमने कोशिश किया कि लगातार वार्ता को जारी रखते हुए हम आगे बढ़ाए और कुछ प्रस्ताव पर बातचीत हुई और उसमें जो आज समाचार प्राप्त हुआ कि उस प्रस्ताव से वो सहमत नहीं है। पर ये बातचीत, ये वार्ता, ये संवाद हमारा जारी रहना चाहिए और शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से हमें इसका समाधान ढूंढना चाहिए।
The timing of the protest is worrisome for the ruling BJP. It comes close to the election and also at a time when the party was hoping to clinch an alliance with former ally Shiromani Akali Dal in Punjab. The Shiromani Akali Dal had walked out of BJP-led NDA on the issue of farm legislation. I am joined by my colleague from ET's Political Bureau, Jatin Thakkar, who has been following the politics of farmers' protests closely. Jatin, welcome to the morning brief. Can you tell us why did Shiromani Akali Dal Badal walk out of NDA at the time of farmers' protests in 2020?
See, for Akali Dal, the politics, for their politics, two pillars are of their politics essentially. One is the Panth, the religion, the Sikh religion, and the another pillar is the agriculture. See, in case of Punjab, agriculture is not merely a profession, it's a culture of Punjab. In Punjabi, they say, Uttam kheti, beech vyapar, neech naukri. So the agriculture comes topmost in the priority. And at that time, Akali Dal was not in a very good shape. They faced drubbing in the last assembly elections. They were facing the criticism from all quarters, including within the Panthik politics, within the Akali politics, within the SGPC, for the Beadbi of Guru Granth Sahib. And then a farmers' union started Morcha in Lambi outside Badal's native place, the Badal residence, where Mr. Prakash Singh Badal used to stay. And then Badal Senior was also not very comfortable with this BJP of Modi Shah DOU. He kept on talking about giving more spaces to minorities. He kept on talking about more, becoming more, this government should become more inclusive. And eventually, when the protests continued, before that, Harsimrat Kaur Badal, the wife of Sukhbir Singh Badal, who was then food processing minister in the government, she wrote several letters to the government. She even objected to that cabinet note. Then, eventually, when the government was not, when their voice went unheard in the BJP quarters, or the BJP was not willing to accept their demand, they eventually moved out of this NDA government, and they moved out. And the interesting part is that, the most noteworthy part of this, is that they made the announcement of Harsimrat Kaur Badal's resignation from the union cabinet at the floor of the house, while when the discussion on these three farm laws were taking place. At that time, I was present in the Lok Sabha. Sukhbir Badal got up from his seat. He went where Narendra Singh Tomar was sitting. He whispered something in his ears. He sat with him briefly. Before his speech started, Harsimrat Kaur Badal gave the copy of a resignation to the PM's office in Parliament, in the old Parliament building. And as soon as Sukhbir Badal started making his speech, at the end he made an announcement that our minister, Akali Dal representative in this Modi government, will step down in protest against these three farm laws. And thereafter, Harsimrat Kaur Badal personally went and submitted her resignation, the copy which she has already given to the PMO.
So basically, it was really the regional interests taking over and taking precedence for Shiromani Akali Dal. Can you also tell us, like, what we hear, and you've also written in an article that there were the talks for Lok Sabha tie-up, for Lok Sabha elections tie-up, were at a very advanced stage when the farmers' unions gave their Dilli Chalo call. So, what is the status now, and how do you think that this could pan out?
See, Nidhi, in case of Haryana and Punjab, these are the two states where BJP, during Vajpayee era and even 2014 assembly elections, they have done well when it comes to the Lok Sabha polls, where they normally contest 3 seats in Punjab in alliance with Akali Dal, and they, in last few elections, they have contested all 10 assembly Lok Sabha seats in Haryana. But before that, they were in alliance with Haryana Vikas Party, NLD, and other regional players of Haryana. In these two states, the BJP and its ideology have not able to make that much penetration which has it in other Hindi heartland states. And perhaps the one bigger reason is that there is a very strong Arya Samaj influence both in Haryana and in Punjab as well, while the BJP's politics is more centered around this Sanatan Dharma. Now, coming back to your specific question of Punjab, why or where do you think? See, the three players, all the three, those who come from the other parties. Sunil Jakhar, who switched from Congress to BJP. Manpreet Badal, who first was in Akali Dal, then he floated his own party, Punjab People's Party, and then last he was in Congress, who has now also switched to the BJP. He's a cousin of Sukhbir Badal. And then Captain Amarinder Singh, former Chief Minister of Punjab, former Congress senior topmost leader of Congress in Punjab, now BJP. All three were very willing and were trying to act like a bridge between the BJP's national leadership and Akali's, that should be an alliance. And some meetings were also happened between these three leaders and some regional leaders. Then some union minister was also involved. A section of Akali was also very keen because they want a friendly center with them. so that it will help them in taking on AAP, because at the end of the day, AAP has made grounds and AAP has taken their vote share, especially in the Malwa region, the biggest region of Punjab, which has some 65, 67 assembly seats. Now the talks were taking shape. Even they reached the level of seat negotiations. Earlier, in 2014, in the seat arrangement was such that Akali Dal used to contest on 10 seats and BJP on 3 Lok Sabha seats. Now BJP wanted more seats because the BJP feel that it has it has expanded its footprints. And in the recent Lok Sabha bypoll of Jalandhar, the vote share difference between BJP and Akali Dal was very marginal. Though BJP came fourth and Akali Dal came third, or I think Akali Dal came fourth or BJP came third, but they were nearer to each other in terms of vote share. So the BJP, there was a formula of 8-5-7-6. BJP was pushing for 7-6. Akalis was pushing for 8-5 and letting BJP to field its candidate on Chandigarh, the Union Territory of Punjab, which it always do, which it has been doing from last many years. So now with this farmer protest, again the same issue which became a bone of contention between the two oldest allies of NDA during the time of the farm law has again come into forefront and is again haunting the alliance. It has casted a shadow over the talks of the alliance. Now that talks are in a cold stage, no one wants to talk about it. No one even wants to discuss those with the reporters off record. So, but yes, a section of BJP was also keen on that alliance because they have realized that without Akali, they won't able to do much. In fact, many feel that they won't able to retain their two sitting at two Lok Sabha seats, Gurdaspur and your Hoshiarpur. So, but now that it seems the talks are in a very there's no new development on that. Rather, it would be appropriate to say that they have reached a dead end where they have nothing to discuss until and unless this farmers' agitation and this farmers' issues get resolved.
Jatin, at the national level, away from this politics, how do you think that the government looks at cracking this problem right now? The farmers are agitated. There have been in fact 2 deaths now so far, one at Kanori and one other there at Shambhu. So how do you think the government is proceeding with it right now? And politically, how big is the challenge going to be?
See, unlike previous protests where you saw the farmers reach Delhi and it impacted in Haryana, it had an influence in Western UP and in Punjab as well. And in the 2022 assembly polls, the BJP did well in Western Uttar Pradesh, but it did poorly in Punjab assembly polls. So do Akali Dal, and AAP swept the elections. Now, in terms of nationalism, see, if you look at the psyche and if you talk to the people who matter in this government, one thing is very clear from the conversations with them. They are not very keen or very comfortable with this idea that you come, protest, and then you will get. They want people to talk and negotiate. They don't want to set a template. You come at the doorsteps of Delhi, do that, do protests, show your heroics, and then you will get what you want. Secondly, the idea in this government, especially within the policymakers, they feel that in terms of wheat and rice, we have reached a saturation point. Countries importing the edible oil and the pulses in large number. When this government came to power, it set up a price stabilization fund, especially for pulses, because the prices of dal, which is basically in Indian society, which is largely a vegetarian society, pulses or dal is a big major source of protein. So if it gets expensive, it impacts the economy and the kitchen of a common man. So government want to increase the product, but they don't want to ensure or guarantee something. This government believes in the idea of free economy. This government believes in the idea of market forces dictate the situation. But at the same time, if you look at the agriculture across the world, it's a highly subsidized thing. Every government, every country, for the sake of their food security, subsidizes agriculture. And in the terms of agriculture, the problem with Punjab farmers are that the water table has gone down because of this huge paddy cultivation. Secondly, the average land holding has come down. With the family which had once 50 acres of land, it get divided into 5 brothers and their sons, and eventually that has come down. So government is also keen to diversify, but government is not very comfortable with the idea of MSP guarantee. because then it will have a huge burden, and this government wants to keep its fiscal deficit under check. So that's the idea. But I think they are also very keen to end this protest because the Lok Sabha elections are there. I don't know how much it will impact them electorally, because as of now, on the face of it, appears mainly a Punjab protest. And like last time, there are many unions who are not participating. So Sanyukt Kisan Morcha is also divided into two parts. The biggest union of Punjab, Bharatiya Kisan Union Ugrahan, though now they have started holding protests at toll plazas and few days back at railway tracks in Punjab. But before that, they were not part of this protest. So it's now. But if it's spread to other parts, Haryana or to the Western UP, then it may push government to corner, and they have to do some serious thinking. But as of now, they are more concerned about the optics of the protest rather than the electoral impact of the protest, because they feel the protest is rather restricted to Punjab only.
So the government would try to sort this out as soon as possible, is what
Exactly.
I'm getting.
At the
Not
earliest.
let it linger on and spread to other parts of the country.
Second,
At least in
another
modern.
another point is that maybe you need to see if the protest is coming from Punjab. So what transpired in Canada, in the Canada, what Justin Trudeau said that our one citizen has been killed by Indian agents. America also echoed the same sentiment. So while taking all those things into context, Punjab is a sensitive state. See, it's a minority-dominated state which is on a border within a nation with which we have very hostile relations. So government is treating this state and this situation very cautiously and with a very delicate hands. They don't want to, do anything. When I was talking to few people in the ruling dispensation, they feel that one thing which is very clear, and the rank and the file of this government, you should not try to impose anything on Punjab. They use the one word in Punjabi, Punjab ch takke naal kuch nahi hoega. So they don't want to impose anything on Punjab. They don't want to handle the situation very maturely, calmly. You see, today also Agriculture Minister requested them for another round of talks. 3 ministers have so far 4 times went to Chandigarh to hold dialogue with the protesting farmers. Even in the RSS, the ideological fountainhead of the ruling BJP, they always treat Sikhs as a part of an Hindu family. They never had any. In fact, one point of time they had a shoot, or a Rashtriya Sikh Sangat, which still exists on paper, but more or less in terms of practical, I don't know how much it is active. So for them, Punjab is all very sensitive and crucial state. They don't want it to go to the same path of 1980s and insurgency start popping up, because Pakistan would love to do that.
Right. Thank you so much, Jatin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
There does not seem to be an easy solution to this problem. The government can neither give in nor be seen as unsympathetic to the demands of the farmers, or worse, using an iron hand to quell the protests. It is a tightrope walk that the government will need to maneuver carefully. This is all for today. I'm your host Nidhi Sharma, signing off. This episode was produced by Vinayak Agarwal and Sumit Pandey. Sound design by Indranil Bhattacharjee and Rajas Nayak. Executive producers Anupriya Nair, Anirban Chaudhary and Orijit Barman. Thank you for listening in. If you liked this episode, do share it on your social media networks. A new episode of the Morning Brief podcast drops every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. It streams on Amazon Prime Music, JioSaavn, Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts. And of course, ET's own audio platform, ET Play. Have a great weekend ahead. All external sound clips used in this episode belong to their respective owners. Credits are mentioned in the description.